Welcome back to BST, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on yet another episode. The NBA draft lottery just went down not too long ago, and some crazy results came from it. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack here. So let's just get right into this thing. Let's go through the lottery. Moving from 11 to number 1, the Dallas Mavericks. What a shocker. You go from trading Luka, everybody hates Nico Harrison, the GM, everybody hates him, to this. Now you have the first pick, and, hopefully they draft Cooper Flagg. Could you imagine? They don't draft Cooper Flagg. They pull Nico Harrison, makes another horrible mistake. Who knows?
Let's not pretend that this was a chance. This was rigged.
Well,
this was completely rigged.
We'll get to the rigged. I have my thoughts on that.
1.8% chance. No way.
1.8% chance.
No way.
And so, this completely changes the game for the Mavericks. They went from one of the worst futures in the NBA. Now you have Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving next year. You might be able to go on a little bit of a run there. At number 2, this is who I thought was going to get it. I'm like, they're totally going to give the Spurs the first pick again. And they almost did. The Spurs jumped from 8 to number 2. They had a 6% chance to get to this point. They were able to do so. Or they 6% chance to get the first, but they were able to jump to second, which is also huge for them. Because there's kind of like a big 4 in this draft in my mind. We'll get to the ESPN mock draft here. But so to jump into the top 4 is huge for them. Get another player for Wemby. But I really thought they were going to get first. So like, man, they're going to give the Spurs first again. I think they've had the first overall 4 times now. Something like that. Jumping from 5 to 3 was the 76ers. Another big jump. The Sixers were at 5, so they were pretty bad this year. But you look at the Sixers roster. If Embiid can be healthy, you drafted McCann last year. He was good before he got that major injury. I think he tore his ACL or something. Paul George is probably a goner, depending if you can get rid of his contract or not. So that's a big jump for the 76ers. Get a top 3 player. Hornets fall back 1 spot, 3 to 4. Not too bad for the Hornets. You'll take that. You can still get what I said, one of the top 4 prospects. So if you're a Hornets fan, you're not too mad about that. The Utah Jazz, because of course they would. They fall from 1 to 5. And I think we both knew it in our mind. It would happen.
Oh, every Jazz fan knew that there's no way the NBA would let them win the number 1 pick. I think Washington fans feel similarly.
It was just you just knew that. And let me just start on a spiel here. The NBA draft lottery structure is the dumbest thing. First off, we have no idea if it's rigged or not because they go to the back, get a bunch of envelopes, and start opening them on the stage. So you don't see the process.
Well, the infamous frozen envelope that was the Patrick Ewing draft.
About that. Tell us.
No, there's that. Well, this is a draft for conspiracy theorists right now. If you love conspiracy theories, you're loving this draft because it's chock full of conspiracy. But I think it was Patrick Ewing's draft back in the day. There was a frozen envelope. They did it a lot differently where you just had an envelope to grab out of the bag and they froze it so that the person that David Stern when he picked it out, he could feel the cold one and he picked it out for the Knicks.
What?
So, yeah, they picked out the envelope for the Knicks and then the Knicks got the number 1 pick.
Interesting.
That's now again, that's conspiracy theory. I'm not saying that's true. I might even be wrong on the variation. If somebody knows the story better, put it in the comments.
I agree. But that's crazy.
There was some sort of infamous frozen envelope.
Interesting.
They say was there. Of course, NBA denies it, but you know. So the conspiracies were going back for 30 plus years, even further, I'm sure.
I mean,
but it does when you don't show the fan base,
right?
how you're doing it like hockey did. Hockey showed them
Showed
doing the
balls
ball.
being spun,
Like, showed it all.
and then go.
I mean,
like,
maybe there's AI there that fooled all of us. I don't know, but I think you have to be a little bit more transparent than here's a stack of envelopes and oh yeah, you in the back, you were the 8th pick, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's first of all, that's shady. And
It sounds like a draft pick lottery for your fantasy football league.
yeah.
So it's like, oh wait, yeah, I don't really like that combination.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
No.
Oh, I don't really like that combination. Let's do it again.
And then what I do like about it is pretty captivating because I think it was like the Mavericks. The Mavericks didn't show up at the 11 spot, so they're like, "Hey, they jumped." But then on the ESPN broadcast, they jumped to a top 4 pick. So then they take those top 4 teams and they just scramble them somehow. I don't know, but then they come out with 4 new envelopes. So it's like there's no transparency whatsoever. So that only drives up the rigged comments.
Okay,
from people.
who are the top 4 again? Number 1, Mavericks. Okay.
Spurs.
76ers.
Hornets.
Okay. So the only one in the 4 that doesn't really have big superstars, Hornets.
Well, here was
Who's
what
the Hornets.
They
Who
got
they have?
LaMelo Ball.
Okay, LaMelo Ball.
Here's where I was kind of thinking, like, the Jazz. Who did the Jazz have?
Nobody.
The Jazz legitimately do not. I mean, Markkanen is our best player.
I mean,
And
nothing against Markkanen, but he needs help.
we just don't have a young superstar, and that's just what disappoints me so much because like that's why like even the Hornets, like you got LaMelo Ball,
I mean, Wemby's the big new thing.
Well,
you got to get him help, right?
That's
So
why
they put him up there.
That's why I figured. The other thing about the NBA or NBA draft lottery, it's so dumb how they do it that the top 3 teams had the same percentage of chance.
Yeah.
And then like basically the Jazz, they had the best chance to get first technically, but they had like a 50% chance to get 5th. So it's like it's not really that like. And the thing that drives me insane is the NBA is the worst at parity in their league. They have the same best teams, and it's just like, if you're really bad, you're bad.
It's a league where the players control where they go.
Yeah, and now it's like,
right? They all want to play together.
How are the Jazz supposed to create a good team?
They can't.
And especially when they've just drafted horribly as of late. So that's not to say the Jazz haven't done their part to be bad, but I'm just saying like.
Well, they tore it all down.
We're building. I know, but I'm just saying, like the NBA is literally like making their product worse.
Basically, you can't get a superstar to come to Utah, so you have to try to get as high a lottery pick as you can, and hope that in the next 10 lotteries you hit gold on 1 or 2, or both. You probably need 2. You hit gold on 2 guys in the next 10 years to get them in and build around them.
But what drives me insane, it's like the NFL is widely regarded as the sport with the most parity because if you're bad, you get the best players in the draft. That's just how it works, and that's how it should work. And even in the NHL where there's a draft lottery, if you're 1 through 3 as the worst teams, if you're the first, second, or third worst team, you cannot move past that. You at least get a top 3 player in the draft. And I like that. And you can still have opportunities for like the Islanders to move up to 1, but it's like it just kills me. It's like the Wizards moving down to 6. That is brutal. Because there is very clearly a drop off after 4 in this draft class. And we'll get to that later, but I'm just saying like it is brutal for these teams who are trying to rebuild for like obviously, Mavericks, those fans deserve it. They've been through hell and back this year by their GM. So they deserve to get like.
I don't think they deserve it more than anybody else.
Okay, but I'm just saying like I'm happy for Mavericks fans. They have something to cheer for now.
Yeah.
Because before it was looking pretty bleak, but like the Spurs, like, and if it was just random chance we saw the ping pong balls right in front of our faces. Oh, and it just happened to be the Spurs, like it happened to be the Islanders in the NHL.
It's like the icing on the cake for why I hate the NBA now.
Yeah, but it's just isn't that
it's a stupid process. It's dumb. It's not transparent.
Yeah,
and it just shows you why the NBA
Yeah,
sucks.
it's horrible. It's just I don't even have words. It's just like I was so excited. Even like I was excited to get any of these top 4 guys. Let's just finish up the full results. So, yeah, Jazz from 1 to 5, Wizards from 2 to 6, Pelicans from 4 to 7, Nets from 6 to 8, Raptors from 7 to 9, Rockets from 9 to 10, which is Phoenix's pick, but the Rockets own it. Blazers from 10 to 11. Bulls stay at 12. The Hawks, which is the Kings pick, stay at 13. And the Spurs, which is the Hawks pick, stay at 14. And listen to this. 0.0114% chance to get this exact top 3. Isn't that insane? To get these 3 teams in that order in the draft lottery, 0.0114% chance. That is
just luck.
Insanity.
Give me a break.
Like again,
It's collusion
NBA,
all over this.
Just make it transparent, unless that's not what you're going for and you're trying to rig it. And I'm not saying it's rigged. I'm just saying it's just like it makes you believe it's rigged. Like, what better story than the Mavs who traded away their star player?
Well, it's easy for them to rig it because they can just be like, of course we didn't rig it. What are you talking about? It's crazy.
I know. I just don't know how people don't think this is rigged. And I haven't really paid much attention to the draft lottery in past years. But if it was the same way that they did it 2 years ago with Wemby,
Well,
I would 100% thought that was rigged.
well, and why? I don't know. How does all 3 of those hit like that?
Right?
How wouldn't it just be like one of them jumped up? You know? Or,
Well, I was expecting a jump. I was expecting probably like 5 through 7, somewhere in there, to make a jump. I was not expecting the Mavericks. Even the Spurs, I was like, maybe, but
what were Mavericks supposed to be?
11.
That's crazy.
Jump 10 spots.
How in the hell do you get 11th? You're supposed to get 11 and you win the lottery up to
Right?
1. That is just unbelievable.
I mean,
okay,
unbelievable.
or it just happens there and then everything else falls in line the way it should.
Yeah.
Like, how do all those?
It's
How's
crazy
all that
it all
shuffling
happened.
happen?
So, but now, I mean, people are saying there's doubt. There's doubt that it's rigged.
Doubt that
Again.
it is rigged. Like,
Or doubt that if it is or not. There's conversation.
okay.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say it is. I'm not gonna say it's not.
I'm only saying it is because the Jazz didn't get it.
Yeah,
so.
I know. It just, of course they didn't. But we knew it.
We knew that.
We knew it.
I was saying that forever. There's no way we're getting the lottery. The NBA will not allow the lottery to be won by the Jazz.
Yeah,
It's not going to happen.
let's get to the prospects here. Obviously, the winners of this draft are the top 3 because they're going to get really good players. Cooper Flagg, no doubt, first overall pick. I don't know if he's generational or not, but definitely has been regarded as the first pick all year long. So he will be probably going to the Mavericks. They get franchise corner piece, a future. For, like I said, a future that looks so bleak, like a couple months ago, has new life. They go from one white superstar to maybe another. Would have loved him in Utah for sure. At 2, Dylan Harper to the Spurs. Now you got that backcourt with Castle and Harper in the Spurs. That can be dangerous. You got those 2, and you got Wemby, and there's rumblings. Giannis may be on the move. Do you imagine trading for Giannis? Put him on the. You'd have the best defensive front court in the league. You would have Wemby and Giannis. I'm just saying. Hey, I don't know if that's an actual possibility, but I'm just saying that would be pretty amazing. Ace Bailey at 3, small forward to the Sixers. I think this guy. The 4 guys that I kind of like. I was fine if the Jazz got any of these guys. Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, or VJ Edgecombe. Not going to get any of them unless one of them drops. Probably won't. Those 4 guys, I was fine with the Jazz getting. And I think any team that gets those 4, even the Hornets at the very end of there, they're going to get one of those guys. I think that's a good possibility and a good opportunity for them. And now the Jazz are mocked to get Jeremiah Fears out of Texas, point guard. I don't know much about him, but pretty disappointing to be the worst team in the league, win 17 games all year, and you're stuck with this. Just sucks. Just sucks. So, I don't know, guys. It's just kind of deflating because I really wanted to get back into basketball and watching the Jazz with a new player. But I think that's kind of one of those underrated things about this. It's like, if you're like a Wizards fan or a Jazz fan, it's like, who do you even cheer for? You know, like who do you look to on the roster and you're like, yep, that's who I'm gonna kind of attach to and have something to cheer for. There's just nobody, especially on the Jazz. They're marketing, but I don't know. It's like marketing isn't flashy. There's nothing to cheer for.
The NBA, there's nothing to cheer for anyway. There's no. You already said there's no parity in the NBA. There's also no rivalries in the NBA. Players like playing against each other because they're friends. It's like I want it back in the heyday, the 80s and the 90s in particular, where superstars didn't want to play together. They wanted to beat each other. They wanted to be the best. There was physicality to the game. There was bad blood. Like, like right now, New York is playing Boston. Back in the day, that would have been like a bloodbath at times. So, I mean,
the game is soft.
It is. It's just a lot of like, oh, the air, me running past you ruffled your jersey. There's a foul. I don't know. The foul calls, it's just like you watch March Madness, especially, and these college kids are beating each other up, and they're swallowing the whistles. It's like, swallow the whistles a little bit more, get a little bit more physical, get a rivalry. Because what's even like a must-see rivalry in the NBA anymore? I can't even think of one that you'd like, oh, I got to tune into this because they hate each other.
I'd say what the NBA does have going for it right now is their stars are in a good spot. Like, I want to tune in to watch Jokic play. I want to tune in to watch Anthony Edwards play. And I think Knicks and Celtics can be a rivalry for sure.
Yeah, there's just not any bad blood. Maybe they'll develop it. I don't know.
I just don't think that's... honestly, I don't think that's like how society is right now.
Oh, are you kidding me? Turn on social media. It's bad blood everywhere.
I know, but like social media is different. I'm just saying, like, I feel like we've mellowed out.
I just think it's soft.
It is, no doubt.
Just go watch a playoff hockey game. Those guys have respect for each other, but they beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
Bring that intensity to the NBA.
I just don't think it'll happen because NBA fans
bring back the hand check.
I honestly, people say that, like, what does that actually do?
More physical. You can control a guy. Think about what you could do when you could hand check a guy and you could move him.
Yeah. I don't know how to fix the NBA.
The defense can kind of move a guy. He has to move against that. I don't know. I just think it like
something.
Like just make it so that you can be a little bit more physical of a game, and it's not a foul every time. I don't know. Just something to bring back some excitement. I don't know.
It's just really hard to watch basketball.
I'm just like,
it's just really bad. Yeah, it's just a bad product. Like
everybody shoots threes.
Yeah,
it's just like
matter. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just like it's not a good, fun product to watch. I don't know if I want to say it's like I don't know. Would I rather watch a baseball game over basketball? I don't think I can say that. I feel like it probably goes like football, hockey, basketball, baseball at this point. But those two are dangerously close. Yeah. And I'd 100% rather watch playoff baseball and playoff basketball right now.
Yeah.
Because we've had some decent games, but like it's not a good product. But let us know what you think in the comments below. And let us know where your team was in the draft lottery, if they were, and who won the draft lottery. I think that's pretty obvious. Who were the winners, losers, who are your favorite prospects, stuff like that. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.